Aloha, what's up everyone? Welcome to this episode of Omens. Omens of what? Omens of the apocalypse. I feel it, I know it, I study it, I write about it, and I feel that many of you also feel that something apocalyptic is on the way. Something cataclysmic, something world-changing. A lot of people, even one of the omens of the apocalypse is the catchphrase that everyone's using is, "This changes everything." The apocalypse changes everything. So today we're going to take a look at the signs and the wonders and the strange things that are happening. I see we got the game in the chat again. That's cool. What's up to everybody? Ryan H., Justin Morris, Nancy Ross, Java Lang, Tiffany, my brother, Straight Jacket White Rabbit. Good to see you. Dr. Hu Maniel, Dreads Dead, Nancy Ross, and more pouring in right now as we go. Right on. Well, let's jump right into some of these headlines that are omens of the apocalypse. Some of the news that's happening around the world right now. This one says, this is from NASA, Americans want Americans to go back to the moon and onto Mars as well, right? So they are taking these polls, allegedly. I never believe any of these polls, okay? I never get invited to any of these polls because there's no third option, which is I don't believe we ever went to the moon. But they say Americans want Americans to go back, especially the younger generation. And I read through this article, and the reason that they say the younger generation is because they're not old enough to remember when we landed on the moon, right? They're not old enough to remember what happened back in 60, 70, 1,000 years ago, however long that was, whenever they allegedly landed on the moon. Now they're taking polls to go back. Do you guys remember when we were doing our first Omens episode and they were having all these discussions about how they're going back to the moon? And they're doing these missions. They're getting everybody pumped up and psyched up. They keep doing it over and over again. Oh, we're planning. We're planning. Listen, they're going to be planning forever because you can't land on a luminary. The moon is a light. And if you're a biblical believer, that's what the Bible says. The Bible doesn't say, at the very least, I'll just use the Bible for example. It doesn't say the moon is a giant rock reflecting the sun's light. It says it is its own light. You can't land on a light. It's a plasma hologram up there in the sky. Now, it's projecting something that is physical, which is a part of the firmament, but that's much different. So they're saying that they're trying to get everybody excited to go back to the moon. Americans will not go back to the moon. Astronauts are not Americans. Anybody that's in the government is not an American, okay? They're business owners. It's all a corporation, okay? You work at America, might as well be Walmart or By and Large. You guys have seen the movie WALL-E or any of the Pixar movies where they have that huge company called By and Large? That movie, throughout the whole sequence of all the Pixar movies, ended up buying everything. Right? There's actually a theory called the Pixar theory where it says that all those Pixar movies are sequential, that they're in order, that they're connected to one another, and I believe that they're reflecting back to us our actual history from the beginning of our timeline to the coming end of our timeline. So the By and Large corporation is a part of all of that, and those are companies. Now, when they talk about landing on the moon, going to Mars, these are codes. They're codes for the conditions that are in this world. It's an enclosed system, and therefore everything that is within that enclosed system is the planets and the sun and the moon and the galaxies and the nebulas and all that stuff. It's under the dome. So when they talk about going to the moon, they're talking about going to the firmament, trying to reach the firmament, right? That's why they're so interested in Antarctica as well, because it bows down and touches the firmament bows down and touches Antarctica. Oh, let me make sure you guys can hear me. Oh, you can. Okay, cool. All right. And then Mars. Mars is our world in the age to come. Mars was our world in the prior age. It was partially desert, where there are oceans now, and partially tropical, where there are continents now. And it will return to being that way. But you're never going to see anybody land on the moon. And if you do, I mean, they could fake anything. They could have videos and all that kind of stuff or whatever, but nobody's going to land on the moon. Okay. The original footage of that has just been torn apart for decades by highly intelligent people across the world, independent researchers, and everybody else is either team government, which is the people that walk around in their NASA t-shirts, not realizing that they're supporting governments, or, you know, they understand, they've looked into it and they know that nobody ever landed on the moon. Definitely not we. Okay, there's no we with anything that the government is doing. That's a sports mentality. When you say, "Oh, we landed on the moon," you didn't. Nobody that you know landed on the moon. Okay, these are like a handful of people that allegedly landed on the moon. Next up, Husker engineers advanced work on intelligent self-healing technology. So this gets back to, you guys saw my brother on the channel the other day, and we were talking about technology out of control, rapidly advancing at a pace that cannot be stopped. Well, they're making not just machines that are humanoid, but they're making them humans. They're giving them muscles. Like, look it up in Google. Just type in robots with muscles or muscle structure or whatever, and you'll see. Type in robots with bones. Type in robots with emotions. Type in any of that stuff, and you will find it. Now they're having these robots that can heal. They're putting skin onto the robot, and they're making it so that when the robot gets cut or harmed or bruised or whatever, that the skin acts just like our skin does, and it heals itself. And that's more of the human aspect when they're trying to put actual skin and organics onto the robot to make it organic. But like you saw last time, they also have the liquid metal that's self-healing. Exactly from Terminator 2 Judgment Day, the T-1000 Terminator, how he's liquid metal and he can change shape and heal himself. They have that already. They're not telling you it's going to be made for Terminators, but they already have that. This one is from physics.org, and it says, unusual plasma waves above Jupiter's North Pole. So this is just really interesting to me. I don't really believe in Jupiter. I don't believe in physical planets. Just same way I don't believe in the physical moon. Those are all luminaries up there. They're projections of portions of the firmament above us. But it's an omen to me, being able to read into this, that we have the connection between plasma and the North Pole. Right? And all of these planets, the alleged planets, they're named after a phenomenon that people saw, which was plasma phenomenon, terrestrial and cosmic, or from the sky. Plasma that came down from above through an opening above or in the dome, at the apex of the dome, right? And they gave those names. They gave that opening a name. Many different names, many different cultures described it, which is what a name is, in many different ways. And then that beam of terrestrial geoplasmas that shoots up from the center of Mount Meru at the North Pole at the center and branches off into what's known as the Squatterman figure, that was given many names. And we applied those names for those two different entities to the planets. So when they're talking about the planets, symbolically, they're speaking about something completely different other than just those little lights that move around in the sky. But plasma at the North Pole is crucial, and it's something that you are going to see should you survive long enough to see the apocalypse when it rolls around, because it's a plasma apocalypse, and the North Pole is crucial, and that's where you'll see the most plasma, the geoplasmas that shoot up and the cosmic plasma that comes down. And this has been recorded throughout antiquity as well. Next up, we've got, let's talk about the ocean. We almost always talk about the ocean because it's a huge part of the omens that are happening. And I was actually doing my own little study group on Patreon. I have like a video conference study group, and one of my seat holders in the study group, she was telling me about how they're capturing these glowing worms that are like the size of Antarctica or whatnot. And this is something very similar. It says this is an illustration of bioluminescent phytoplankton, a bloom off of Australia's southern coast, visible from space. Now this is just an artificially intelligent picture or whatever. But this is very interesting. Let's see what the title of this is. It says, we can't believe our eyes. NASA scientists are stunned by a discovery of a massive glowing ocean creature visible from space. This is off the coast of southern Australia, right? What it is it is the same thing that we've been discussing, which is a huge part of the omens of the upcoming apocalypse, and also prophecies from various religions, but specifically the book of Revelation, where it talks about how a third of the ocean will turn red and a third of the animals will die. And the water will become wormwood. And that word wormwood means bitter. It means acidic. It means toxic. It means not clean water, right? So what do we have here? We've got phytoplankton, and this whole article is like, look how beautiful it is. It's all glowing. It's majestic. It's amazing. You can see it from space. And that's what this whole thing is about. Let's read some of these notes here. NASA satellites captured a stunning turquoise glow off of Australia's southern coast, revealing a massive bioluminescent phytoplankton bloom. The glow was first documented by NASA's PACE spacecraft, further observed by other satellites, showcasing the bloom's seasonal nature in the Great Australian Bight. High concentrations of chlorophyll A in the phytoplankton cause the remarkable glow, thriving in the nutrient-rich ocean's photic zone. The phenomenon supports a rich marine ecosystem. Pay attention to this, because I have an article that's next that completely contradicts this entire article. This phenomenon supports a rich marine ecosystem, attracting blue whales and a variety of sea life, highlighting the ecological importance of these algal blooms, which are also known as harmful algal blooms. Let's check out this next one. This is the product of the exact same thing in the exact same place in southern Australia. This article focuses on how beautiful it is and how blue whales will be attracted to all the bacteria and crap so they can eat it, right? Well, this one right here shows you this dead fish washed up on shore. There's lots of dead animals that are washing up. Death on the sand. Fish and animal carcasses rot on Adelaide shores amid toxic algal bloom. BitChute, what's up? Thanks for the $20. High five. That was awesome. This says SA. When you see SA, it's Southern Australia. Southern Australia algae crisis. Incredibly disturbing, but federal government won't declare a natural disaster. So now in this article, the exact same thing that we just looked at, over here it's painted as this beautiful, glowing, blue whale attracting organism seen from space. Over here, it's an algal bloom toxic crisis, right? The reason that this is a crisis is because these algal blooms release toxins. Those toxins kill the marine life, right? And the marine life, therefore, will start dying all the way up the food chain. They release toxins into the air, which can cause humans to get sick as well, which is going to happen. So the ocean itself is going to start releasing or creating a lot of these toxic algal blooms, which will release massive amounts of toxins into the air. And we're already seeing it in the animals, as we've discussed before in prior episodes, where there's sea lions and otters and other types of animals that are affected by a neurotoxin that comes from these harmful algal blooms. And they look like they're on drugs, basically. Some of these things are just like wobbly headed, staring off into space. They become really aggressive. They start attacking for no reason. And this is also something that has been prophesied to happen, that will happen to the human race. That there will come a time when humans lose their minds collectively, that they all become violent and aggressive all around this exact same time. And you're shown a lot of movies that have this concept. The movie Cell comes to mind with John Cusack, but there's many different movies that are very similar to that. Keep your eyes on the ocean. Here's another one. Expert reaction. Should South Australia's toxic algal bloom be declared a natural disaster? And they'll show you another dead fish that's washed up or whatever. But now, I will tell you this too. All of these stories, if they're against it and they're saying it's bad, they will blame humanity. And they will try to use that blame to manipulate laws and expectations and rules and guidelines so that they can control you, so that the people who are at the top levels can do whatever they want to while keeping you in check, the masses, keeping you under wraps, keeping you law-abiding or whatever. When in reality, this has nothing to do, very little to do with humans. And I know a lot of people have been taught that. It's been pounded into our head. Global warming, the Industrial Revolution, smog, all this stuff. If you look at the amount of smog that has been put into the air collectively from the time of the Industrial Revolution to today, and you compare it with how much atmosphere there is, the smog is minuscule. It's not what's causing the Earth to heat up. The Earth is causing the Earth to heat up. But people are going to continue to blame humans. Regardless, whoever you blame, things are changing quickly. There's a lot of death that's popping up in the world's oceans. This one says the impact of fewer babies being born in countries around the globe. What is the impact of fewer babies? And then they'll always show you some couple that has come together on some couch somewhere. It's not going to be their couch. And they're having this meaningful discussion and sharing with someone why they've decided, they've made a mature decision not to have babies. We are not going to have babies. And they'll show you this couple who allegedly has decided not to have babies. Okay. And they'll imprint this couple in your mind, and they'll tell you this is what everyone around the world is doing. Everyone is this mature that they're taking a look at the stocks and the stock market and the economy, and it's just not a good time to bring a child into the world because of money. Or the world is not letting you bring children into the world. It's your abilities are being restricted. Right? Not as some sort of a punishment or anything, but just as a byproduct of the natural domino effect of what's happening to the Earth, of what the Earth is doing to itself. And this is something that will happen. You'll see the population start to dwindle and decline as people won't be able to have babies. At first, they're going to tell you, oh, it's our choice. People are choosing not to. And that's just one thing. The other thing is you need this guy and this girl to make babies. That's the other thing. I won't get too deep into that, but you gotta have him and her to make a baby. Okay? If it was him and her, you can't make a baby. Okay? And I'll just leave it at that. But anyways, the point is, babies are on the decline. Okay? The birth rates, the fertility rates are on the decline. Huge drop. Countries cannot sustain their populations right now. Whatever the reason may be, that's the fact of the matter. And you'll start to see it. They're trying to project, oh, there's going to be 10 million people in the next 50 years. There's going to be 20 billion people or however many. No, there's not. The population's going to start dwindling, and they're going to give you incentives. And they're going to start making it mandatory to have babies. It's going to be your government duty. It's going to be serving your country. And there's going to be a huge schism that will happen for people who want that choice to not have babies, and they'll be ridiculed and stuff by all the patriotic people that are out there trying to find who the most fertile women are. This is exactly what's shown to you in that television show. What was that television show? The Handmaid's Tale, right? The Handmaid's Tale. That's prophetic. That's showing you what is right around the corner. Next up. This article says the real conspiracy behind the Texas floods. This is as opposed to all of the fake conspiracies. The real one. I've already read this article, so I'll tell you what it's all about. Okay? Actually, let me quote. So this guy's talking to this other guy right here. And he's asked this question. He says, there's a quiet disinformation thing going on. I've seen recently that people are talking about weather modification. Now listen to this guy's response. He says, oh my God. Immediately. Right? Not, okay, I hear you. Let's pursue that, right? Oh my God. That is what qualifies for intelligence these days. That is what qualifies for reasoning and being a philosopher or an educated person. Oh my God. Oh my God, weather modification, conspiracies to change the weather. So this guy says, oh my God. You know what the best response to that was? I've seen that. Like, oh, the government is secretly altering the weather. I've seen that. And it's like, actually, there is a conspiracy to alter the weather. There's a conspiracy by a group of very powerful corporations to pump as much carbon into the atmosphere as possible, and then to pretend that that's not causing these weather things to happen. I'm being tongue-in-cheek, he says. So he's just being very like, I don't know. He's lying, basically, right? He's saying, oh, there's no conspiracy to change the weather. What it is all the carbon that we're pumping into the atmosphere. It's us. It's humanity. We're to blame. We're doing it. Do you have any idea how much atmosphere there is in comparison to whatever minuscule amount of pollution we could, the maximum amount of pollution that we could put into the atmosphere? Have you ever done a comparison? Like 5 quintillion tons of atmosphere? Just natural, unpolluted atmosphere that the Earth is constantly producing versus like this tiniest little sliver of pollution. That's my perspective, and that's my research as well. But trust me, humans are not causing the climate to change. Humans are not causing things to get hotter. Humans are not to be blamed for toxic algal blooms. None of these things are human caused. They want to point fingers at each other so that they can control one another and implement new laws and control the masses and the population. This is Mother Nature, or if you will, God is doing these things, not humans, not cars, not factories, not smog, not any of that stuff. Okay. And I don't even want to hear like, well, it does play a role. It's the role that it plays is insignificant when you compare it to nature. Okay. If you look at all the amount of carbon that's put into the air by nature alone every day, and you measure that out, nature's got you beat, humans. Anyways, next up, Earth's, oh, this one cracked me up when I saw this. Are you guys ready for this? Check this out. Hold on, let me you got to read this. This is why Earth's poles are shifting. And there's various articles that say this. The Earth's poles are drifting because of massive dam construction projects that are altering the planet's balance and gravity. Amid the escalating climate crisis, scientists have discovered, whoever they are, scientists, it could be like 2 guys. Scientists have discovered that the construction of thousands of dams since the 19th century has significantly altered Earth's polar alignment. Oh, it's our fault again. It's humans. We're shifting the poles because we're building too many dams. Damn it. Sparking urgent discussions about the long-term environmental impact of human engineering, or the engineering of the Earth that comes from humans. And they show you this dam in front of this ball, space ball. In a nutshell, it says here, the construction of about 7,000 dams since the 19th century has significantly shifted the Earth's polar alignment. Dams. Why don't we blame beavers? You might as well just blame damn beavers. It's the beavers' fault. I guarantee you beavers have dammed up more water than humans ever have over time. Okay? But the damn beavers and the damn humans are shifting the poles by building so much dams and holding the water, which is causing too much weight on one side, which in the weightlessness of space is causing it to shift, which shouldn't do that in anti-gravity, no gravity at all. You know what I mean? None of this makes sense. The construction of over 7,000 dams since the 19th century has significantly shifted the Earth's polar alignment. The construction of dams. I swear to God, this is real. I can't believe it. There's more than one article too. These structures, these dam structures, have caused the poles to move approximately 44.5 inches, impacting global sea levels by reducing them. I can't even believe that they would write this. And oh my God, are they going to teach this in schools? The shift in dam construction from North America and Europe to East Africa and Asia has led to further polar shift. Look at that. They're blaming the construction of dams. As human activities reshape Earth's structure, time out. Human activities is reshaping none of Earth's structure. Okay? Very little. Even all the geoengineering that we've ever done, going far back to recorded history, has reshaped the Earth's structure in comparison to how it always has been. Like 0.0000000%. Okay? We've all but not even affected the Earth at all. Okay? Just from way down here on our individual perspectives, when we're like, oh, but look at this big river that we made or whatever. Earth has you beat, man. As human activities reshape Earth's structure, the need for a sustainable balance between development and environmental impact is more crucial than ever. Do you see what they're doing? They're blaming you. They're blaming you collectively, all of you, right? And they're going to start implementing new laws. And they're going to start controlling you more because you're at fault. You're shifting the poles. You're causing toxic, harmful algal blooms. You're making the weather hotter. It's your fault. So they need to control you. And they'll do that. They'll get to control you. However, all these things are going to keep happening. No matter how much they put a lasso or a noose onto humans or a collar onto all humans, they will keep happening. And they will keep blaming you. No matter what. And why will it keep happening? Because this is natural. All these things that are happening are natural. Now, this one says, humanity has damned. That's prophetic. I should probably say humanity is damned, but humanity has damned so much water, it's shifted the Earth's magnetic poles. Here's another article from sciencealert.com. Look at that. The dams. Recent shifts in the Earth's magnetic field have human fingerprints all over them, this says. While it's normal for our planet's magnetic poles to sporadically wander, not violently shift and cause cataclysms and reset society and history as we know it, new research shows I've never built any dams. I don't know what you're talking about. We've now amassed enough water behind dam walls to account for at least some of the current movements. We're throwing it all off with these dams. This other one also says humans built so many dams that Earth's poles got shifted. Got shifted. Not shifted. Got shifted. Study finds. Well, this is, they always say study finds, but they don't quote studies from independent researchers, like many of us that share with you guys, right? What study? What are they talking about? Look at this evil dam shifting the Earth's poles. That's all right. That's enough of the damn things. Enough of the damn stuff. All right. Mineral versus chemical sunscreen. Let's talk about sunscreen, right? That's the reason why we look younger as we grow older. That's the reason right there is sunscreen. Thank God for sunscreen, man. If we didn't, what would we do? Like, man, what did they do before they had sunscreen? No wonder people, I mean, like, they must have had all kinds of cancers 100 years ago compared to today. They must have not lived very long and they must not have been very healthy. What a bunch of idiots walking around 100 years ago without sunscreen. The body doesn't have any kind of natural mechanism to protect us from sunlight. We need sunscreen. We had to invent it. Thankfully, we're healthier now because of sunscreen. So the question is, should you use mineral sunscreen or chemical sunscreen? Which one should you be using? This article asks the question. Hold on. Some people are trading chemical sunscreens in favor of mineral versions because of fears over toxicity, pollution, and effectiveness. Is there actually any difference? Let me explain something. If you have a sunburn problem, right? Well, first and foremost, the sun's getting hotter, okay? And that's why it's becoming more and more of an issue, as I've talked to you about many times. Like, daylight is shortening, the days are shortening, and therefore the daylight that comes down is actually becoming more focused and therefore hotter, right? So the sun is burning you faster than ever before. And now people are like, I need so much sunscreen. There was a commercial, you know how they put fake commercials in the movies? There was a commercial in the movie RoboCop where they had like this crazy sunblock 9000 or whatever, which was just turned all their skin blue. Sunscreen. Let's go back to it. Let's talk about sunscreen. Where were we here? Where were we? There's the couple that chose not to have children. There's the evil pole shifting dams. Sunscreen, right? Which one should you use? Listen, if you really have a problem with it, go out and get some sun. A little bit more each time. You build up a natural resistance. Your body has melanin that it produces. You'll get a tan. Your skin will turn darker. And it will help you to stay out in the light longer or whatever. However, I will tell you the sun is going to start burning crap, right? But sunscreen? Nah. The sun's just becoming damaging. Let's see. So let's check out sunscreen. Let's look at the ingredients real quick. I don't know if you guys will be able to see this. So they used to have this dog. Is this a Mandela effect? Didn't the dog used to like bite on the girl's butt or something and pull her little swimsuit? Am I tripping? Didn't the dog used to do that? I swear it did. Anyways, what does this say? Complete face. Put this all over your face. Put this sunscreen everywhere. It hydrates. Right? Wow. It's got hydration magic. Weightless. It's weightless sunscreen. It weighs nothing. This is bullcrap, man. Like, this is definitely an omen, not just of the apocalypse coming, but the season of Satan that we live in, where they can just put any kind of crap. They just lie. And people are like, oh, I'm using the new hydrating weightless sunscreen. Let's see. Oh, it's free of oxybenzone, octinoxate, and PABA, and phthalates. Hold on. Phthalates. Fuck yeah. That's the kind of sunscreen I want. I don't want any more of these phthalates in my sunscreen. And fudge that PABA garbage, man. I'm sick of people trying to slip in some oxybenzone and octinoxate PABAs. Right? Let's see what it does have. Shall we? If you have questions, I'm tempted to call this number right now, actually. But I'm not going to. Let's see. Let's just read the ingredients. How many people, by a show of hands in the chat, how many people actually enjoy reading ingredients? I do. I love reading ingredients. It's one of my favorite little hobbies, right? I don't understand half of it, but I think it's very interesting to see what kind of crap is there that they're alerting you to. Let's check out these drug facts. Hold on, I'm gonna check out the chat in just a second. Let's just look at these drug facts. These are drugs. It's not sunscreen. It's drugs. Legal ones from the legal drug dealers. Hold on, let me check the chat. I want to see how many people read the Keith does. Keith reads the ingredients. Okay, let me get back to this. Hold on, I'll come back. I always read the ingredients. You'll be amazed. Like honey buns, let me teach you something interesting. They have an ingredient in, you know those frosted honey buns? It's probably in other stuff too. Oh my God, we'll get to that one. So, you know those honey buns that have like the white frosting on top? One of the ingredients is a fancy word for paint. And you will find that same ingredient in nail polish and makeup because it's paint. I swear to God. I did a video on it a long time ago and I showed you guys the honey bun ingredient. It's called like something titanium, oxy-titanium. I forgot what it's called. But it's paint. They put paint in honey buns and food. All right, where was I here? All right, let's check out these ingredients. Now, the active ingredients which is like dangerous ones, usually, right? The active ones. I don't even explain what that means, active ingredient. Nobody knows what that means. Children, nobody in high school, nobody knows what that even means, active ingredient, right? The active ingredient is avobenzone, homosalate, octisalate, and octocrylene. Thank God they have that stuff in there, man. I volunteer that they put a little extra octocrylene. What is this? Nobody speaks Latin? Are you fucking joking me? You're gonna put all your little ingredients into a language that is not taught here in the United States at the very least. Okay, nobody speaks Latin. Fudge this. Screw this, man. No to all of that. If they have to write the ingredients in a dead language, you think they could be probably hiding something that it might be they don't want you to know about it, right? Okay. Here's what it does, right? Helps prevent sunburn. Well, I looked up these ingredients in ChatGPT, and I asked, apart from telling me, oh, it's sunscreen, what are the possible side effects of the active ingredients just on this particular brand? Here are the possible side effects given by ChatGPT, which I also don't trust, but here's what it says. Skin irritation, redness, stinging, itching, photodegradation. It breaks down under UV light, potentially causing skin sensitivity, rare allergic reactions, rashes and swellings, eye irritation, obviously if you stick sunscreen in your eye or it drips into your eyes, skin irritation, possible endocrine disrupting activity, bioaccumulation concerns in long-term high-dose exposures. Here's something that is not taught to you in school, and this is very important, okay? They don't teach this. It's a very simple truth. You don't need to put something into your mouth or inhale it for it to go into your body. You can simply put it on your skin. So, all of your sunscreens, all of your shampoos, all of your soaps, all of the crap, everything that you're putting on your skin is being absorbed by your skin into your body. So when it says that one of the side effects is bioaccumulation, what that means is that if you continue to use this, like you regular beachgoers, you keep putting sunscreen every single day, right? That it will just start accumulating. The body can't get rid of it. It just accumulates. It stays. This active ingredient stays in your body, in your skin, in your fat cells and stuff, or the other cells. Eye irritation, obviously, skin irritation, allergic contact dermatitis. Let's see what else. Allergic reactions, including photoallergies, a rash that's triggered by sunlight. Possible endocrine activity. Can generate free radicals. Let's see if I can zoom in on that one. This is the active ingredient called octocrylene, octocyclical, or octo whatever it is up here. You see that? Can generate free radicals under UV light, sunlight, possibly contributing to skin stress. That's a nice PC way of saying that's what that is. Okay. Anyways, let's go back to these fun ingredients. That's just the active ingredients that we just read. Let's see what else they got. Helps to prevent sunburns. Sunscreen or whatever. See, back in the day, they had parasols. They would actually put something up to physically block the light and keep it off of your skin. Anyways, warnings for external use only. Because of idiots. You have to put this. Because of idiocracy. Warning! Do not swallow sunscreen to try to prevent sunburn inside of your body. Don't eat this like paste, idiots. For external use only. Do not use on damaged or broken skin. Yeah, so you're going to the beach with a huge gash in your arm, you know, brand new tattoos and stuff. Go ahead, just lather it up. When using this product, keep out of eyes. Oh, of course. You know, I'm so glad it told me that, because I was thinking eyes. I have to open my eyes while I'm at the beach and to do work and to see, and my eyes could get sunburned. I was totally about to cover my eyes in fucking sunscreen. Rinse with water to remove. No kidding. Can you imagine, like, no one knows how to get it out? Stop use and ask doctor if a rash occurs. Ask a doctor. You don't need a doctor to tell you that. Stop using it. Don't do that. Treat your skin well. But you do, I guess. You know, you always have to ask a doctor for everything. Before you go take a crap, you need to ask your doctor these days. Ask your doctor if taking a crap is right for you, they should say. Excuse me, I'm not usually so vulgar. Keep out of reach of children. Well, thank you. I was going to decorate my baby's crib with open sunscreen containers. But now I'm not going to. All right, directions. Apply liberally. Right? Apply liberally. 15 minutes before sun exposure. Start putting that crap on. Let it soak in before you even need it. Get it all over you. Let's see. Reapply after 40 minutes of swimming or sweating. Your body's going to try to get rid of it. Just so you know. They want you to put it back on after your body's like, get this crap off me. Reapply immediately after towel drying. After you wipe this stuff off, put it right back on there. At least every 2 hours, you need to reapply this. Sun protection measures. And I can hear some people too, like, I need sunscreen. I have very sensitive skin. No, you don't. I mean, some people might. There's always anomalies and exceptions, but apart from anomalies and exceptions, no, you don't. Okay? Maybe you're not meant to be a beachgoer. I don't know. Bring an umbrella. Go out a little bit more each day. Develop a tolerance. Let's see. Sun protection measures. Spending time in the sun increases your risk of skin cancer. Look at that. Oh my God. Not slapping on a bunch of fucking active ingredients and chemicals every 2 hours and, you know, after your body gets rid of it and all that's not going to cause that. The sun. Cancer sun. Evil cancer causing sun. Now, I will tell you, like I said, the sun is getting hotter. It's going to start burning stuff or whatever. There's a bug on my light. Damn it. Got it. All right. Anyways, spending time in the sun increases your risk of skin cancer. I'm surprised they haven't mandated that people get skin cancer, sun-causing skin cancer insurance. I'm really actually surprised that there's not like mandatory sun skin cancer risk insurance. That blows my mind. Oh, and early skin aging. Yeah, I'm sure the diets that we have today, McDonald's constantly, smoking, you know, like all the makeup, all the crap that people are just constantly putting onto their body and exposing their body. No, it's the sun. You're getting older because of the sun. It's giving you wrinkles and stuff. Okay. To decrease this risk, regularly use sunscreen. Regularly. Even if you're not going to the beach. I like to just slap on some sunscreen when I'm just about to cook dinner, you know. Just that way I'm good. I'm used to it, you know. I'm patriotic like that. To decrease this risk, regularly use sunscreen with a broad spectrum sun protection factor value of 15 or higher, and other sun protection measures including limit time in the sun, especially from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Get ready for that. That's going to become a law pretty soon when the sun starts burning stuff. Wear long sleeve shirts, pants, hats, and sunglasses. In addition to sunscreen, I'm sure they mean. Children under 6 months? Ask a doctor before you lather them in a bunch of chemicals and active ingredients. Just ask the doctor for permission. That way you don't have to feel bad. You can say, the doctor told me to. I don't understand. What happened to my child? This is the doctor. Ask your doctor first. I didn't see who that was that just joined. Hold on, let me jump in the chat. Oh, Susie Flat. Welcome, Susie Flat. High five. 330 people watching. Welcome, everyone. Good to see you guys. Let me finish slamming on Sunscreen. What else we got? Other information. Protect this product from excessive heat and direct sunlight. Wait a minute. Protect the sunscreen from excessive heat and direct sun? Huh? What? The fudge? What? What is it gonna blow up? What's the problem? Putting the sunscreen in the sun. Seems like it should be okay. Nope. It's got active ingredients. That stuff's volatile. Don't leave that out in the sun. Just stick it on your face first. Then go out in the sun. It's fine. It's totally fine. May stain. This may stain or damage some fabrics or surfaces. Fabrics or surfaces, like your skin, like your face. What else do we got here? This is funny. I love reading these ingredients. Inactive ingredients. Ingredients that aren't doing skittles. These ingredients are they're not doing anything. They're just hanging out. Water. Number one ingredient. Water. Wow, imagine that. I wonder what's causing it to be so hydrating. Water. Imagine that, putting water on your skin. Drinking water. Imagine that. You can drink water? The stuff in the toilet? Ugh. I thought water was like an ingredient for things or toilet protocols and stuff. Next up, alcohol. So water. So it's watered down alcohol. This is a beverage. Ish. Don't drink it. But it's basically if one were to drink it, I suppose it would be considered an alcoholic beverage. Alcohol. Why do you need alcohol again? What's alcohol denat? Denat alcohol. What is this? Okay, let's keep going. Maybe it'll make sense if we keep going. Next up, we've got butyloctyl salicylate. Is that a dinosaur? The butyloctyl, isn't that like extinct? They'd find some butyloctyl DNA and put it in here. Silica. Well, that's nice. Sand. There's like not sand at the beach or anything. We got bis-octyl doctyl dimer. That one? That sounds important. I'm sure that does. Well, it's inactive. Maybe it's nice to have around, you know, some bis-octyl doctyl dimer. We also, though, let's not forget dilinoleate propanediol copolymer. Sweet. Extra for me, please. I would like a double portion of that. Glycerol, that sounds explosive. Glycerol stearate. Tapioca. Oh, sweet. No wonder they tell you not to eat it. It's tempting. Tapioca starch. Look at that. Man, now I know how to make sunscreen. Just go to the pudding aisle. We've also got behenyl alcohol. You got to have a couple different shots in there of some kind of alcohol. We've got butylene glycol DiCaprio. What is this? Butylene glycol DiCaprilate. Where is that behind me here somewhere? Where's the thing? Oh, there it is. Yeah. Is that one? No, this one right there. Butylene glycol DiCaprilate DiCaprio something. C12 and 15. They also have some C12 and 15. I'm thankful for that. Alkyl. What is that over there? Alkyl benzoate. Also, let's not forget cetearyl alcohol, a third shot for you alcoholics out there. I'm sure you're all about the sunscreen. We also have Copernicea, Cerifera, Carnauba wax, in addition to dibutyl adipate and tocopherol, also known as vitamin E. Gotta get that. How else are you gonna get your vitamin E? It doesn't occur naturally or anything. Only in labs. That's where vitamin E comes from. Sodium ascorbyl. Oh, I'm sorry. Sodium ascorbyl phosphate. More silica. Silica dimethylsilicate, sodium stearoglumate, glycylberry behinate, polyglycerol number 6. I'm glad they didn't use number 3, but they went with the 6. I approve of that. Octastariate, diet hylhexyl, syringe, syringe, Leiden a malonete, phenoxyethanol, xanthan gum. Look at that. They got tapioca and gum in the same thing. This sounds like some Willy Wonka garbage. Also, they have ethyl hexyglycerin. Sounds explosive. Hydroxyacetophenone. None. And disodium. EDTA. Glycerin. I know that's explosive. Sodium hyaluronate. And cetyl alcohol. A 4th shot of alcohol. So, wow. Surprised I don't just sell this crap at the bar. If you have questions, which I'm sure you don't at all, this is completely self-explanatory, right? You guys remember your Latin and whatever other languages they're using here. Just dial this number, and I'm sure Indiana Jones is going to answer the phone and explain the Latin to you and explain what all of these wonderful things are. Or you can go to coppertone.com, where you'll just be bombarded by ads. Yeah, that was fun. All right, let's move on. I just had to do that. All right, let's see what else we got. Oh, speaking of sunscreen, here's the big question, right? Should you sunscreen your cat? Now sunscreen, let me get to the cat in a minute. Now sunscreen is a verb. Now, people take nouns and they're making them verbs lately. What the fuck is wrong with people? Stop it. You're I'm sorry. I'm allowing some cursing to come out today, okay? I'm sorry. But you're screwing up your own minds and your offspring's minds and entire generations of the future. Through chaos theory, you're destroying the world by doing dumb things like taking nouns and turning them into verbs. Okay? Should you sunscreen your cat? How do you Target? I saw an ad for that. How do you Walmart? The hell? Should you sunscreen or apply sunscreen to your cat? I sunscreen my cat 3 times a day. It's a hairless. Should you sunscreen your cat? Yeah, I'm sure your cat loves that. Just massaging its little cat head, just lathering it up, sticking some of that on there, get it in good. Make sure you wipe around its eyes and stuff. And you tell that cat, this is external use only, cat. Don't lick it off. Okay, we're good? Okay, we're good. Even wild animals' skin can burn if they're living in unusual conditions, like a focal point above us, the sun heating up and starting to burn everything. That's an unusual condition. Let's slap it on elephants. I feel bad. Poor elephants. Man, I wonder if zoos actually do this. I would not be surprised. I'd be sad for elephants and for other animals, but that wouldn't surprise me these days with all these wackos out there They probably have a sunscreen lather shower or something for elephants. Don't let the elephants stay out in the sun too long. They'll get a sunburn. They'll get cancer. Cancer elephants. Anyways, I don't want to read this article. Ooh, buddy. Next up, the solar system's final days. When will it all come crashing down? I'll tell you exactly when. It literally and physically will come crashing down because the solar system is under the firmament and the dome, and it's created by the firmament and the dome. The sun itself, the luminaries, the points of focus, stars, and projections, planets. Those are all created as light passes through anomalous parts, non-smooth parts of the dome, of the firmament itself, right? Basically, mini domes, or we see them as craters on the moon, which is just a projection of the apex dome. But the moon, everything you see on the moon is inverted and upside down. The solar system's final days, when will it all come crashing down? At the apocalypse, it always comes crashing down. The stars will fall to the earth, right? People, their minds will be blown. It says that in the Bible. I don't understand how people reconcile. How do you believe the Bible that says, quite literally, the stars will fall to the earth? And then reconcile that with academics that says stars are like billions of times bigger than the earth. All the stars in the galaxy, biblically, are just going to be attracted to the earth for some reason. And you'll hear them scratching their heads. I think what it means to me, see what it means to me on the inside? To me, right here, just right in here, to me personally, the way I interpret that, no, the stars will fall to the earth because they're local. They're right up there and up there, okay? They're lights in the sky, and they will fall to the earth, okay? In the distant future, as the sun dies and chaos ensues, our solar system will meet its dramatic and unpredictable end. How will it all unfold? How will the universe die? And then they show you this space balls flying on their little racetracks. How do they say it's going to die anyways? They'll probably say that the sun will expand into a red giant, I'm assuming, and then maybe collapse in on itself into a black hole or a white dwarf, but they don't ever know. The sun's death and the transformation into a white dwarf. Oh, wow, look at that. Maybe I knew that already because I was taught this in high school, and I already know their model. I already know what they have to bring to the table. I'm well versed on it. I was forced to go learn this, and yeah. Since then, I have studied my own ways. Chaotic future of the solar system. It came from nothing, so it stands to reason it'll go back to nothing. According to the Big Bang, there'll be a big. That's the name I'm giving it, okay? So the opposite of the Big Bang is the big. Please, I hope you guys will use that and write it down. I hope so. All right, let's skip this. This is getting boring. Next up, what do we got? It's official. Oh, I love official stuff. It's official. Scientists, whoever they are, have found a structure hidden under 3 kilometers of ice in Antarctica that could protect us from climate disaster. You know what it is? It's an ancient river in Antarctica. Right? I believe it is. Let me just double check. I believe I read this and it said it's a river. Oh yeah, it's a river landscape. Now, let me just check. Let me just remember here. Is a river a structure? Like it's been constructed? Is a landscape a structure? Like it's been constructed? Okay. Well, this blows their mind that they could find this river landscape hidden beneath 3 miles of ice or whatever. I can show you maps where Antarctica is tropical. Not too long ago. Had all kinds of monsters running around, giants, trees galore. Right? There was a time not too long ago when there was no ice in Antarctica, which means that there was a cataclysmic event that introduced a whole bunch of cold to that region. What else? Let's see. A hidden structure that could protect us from climate disaster. Well, that's the dome, aside from whatever they think they found in Antarctica. Right? They sure are finding a lot of crap in Antarctica for having, like, nobody there. Seems. Very suspicious, Antarctica. And what the people are doing down there. What's down there? Absolutely nothing. We need to study how things act when it's really cold. Can't we just make it really cold where we are? Pfft. Where's the fun in that? Can't build a snowman or anything. I don't know, man. I just don't believe any of their excuses, right? There's clearly something amiss. There's some hijinks that are happening in Antarctica. You know that, okay? You right there. Not you. That one, yeah. You know. All right. What else we got? Excuse me. This one says, neither fiction nor fantasy. NASA discovers traces of organic life on Mars, and this finding could change humanity's future. NASA, this is not fiction. This is not fantasy. AKA, we're not lying to you, we promise. Well, snap. I'm invested now. NASA discovers traces of organic life on Mars. Is NASA on Mars? No. Last I checked, no human has ever even allegedly been to Mars. So what the fudge are they saying NASA is on Mars for? Or NASA is discovering things on Mars? Well, because they have cars there, and helicopters, and 4K fucking video. We can discover all kinds of crap from 2 billion miles away. It's easy. Instantly. Just the signal goes, comes right back. It's amazing. How does it work? It's complicated. Don't question authority. Conspiracy theorist. Anyways, I forgot. I'm slamming on it so hard I forgot what the stupid thing says. Neither fiction nor fantasy. That's funny that they would have to preface it like that. NASA discovers traces of organic life on Mars, and the finding could change humanity's future. Right. Well, so Mars is Greenland. I'm pretty sure everybody knows that, right? You guys know that. It's Greenland with a nice red filter on it. Little post-apocalyptic Mad Max filter. Right? Areas that they have blurred out on Google Maps and stuff. Like, they're just up there pretending like it's Mars. I feel like this is common knowledge. So, I'm preaching to the choir. All right, next up, from space.com. The authority on space. When did our solar system's planets form? When did the planets form? Discovery of a tiny meteorite may challenge the timeline. Interesting. When were the planets born? As soon as the lights turned on. That's like saying, you know, when was the light born? When it was born when the switch was thrown and the electricity entered into it, right? Like I said, these are not rocks. This is not land at all. That's marbles out there flying through. Hey, I just got a super chat from Zolero Morales. Hey, thank you so very much, Zolero. Says, Jay, you're awesome. Let me give you a little heart thingy in the chat. Thank you so much. That was very kind. All right. Did I have anything else I wanted to say about this one? When did our solar system form? The exact same time when it's going to end. Like that other article's like, when's it all going to come crashing down? It will come crashing down, and 7 days later, after the apocalypse, it will all form again. When the dome fixes itself, because it's made out of ice, right? And it'll just refreeze the gases that are up there instantly. The light will pass through it once more, and you'll have the planets and the suns and the moon and all that stuff. You won't be able to see it right away because this world will be vastly different and covered in fog. So the atmosphere is going to be messed up. There's going to be dust in the atmosphere, all kinds of crap, but mostly the fog will make it very difficult to see any kind of luminary for a very long time. All right, last but not least, what else we got? Protecting coral habitat may prove vital as the ocean becomes more acidic. Not just as it becomes acidic, more acidic. Look at that. As it becomes more acidic. No problem. The whole ocean's becoming acid. That's fine. Protections for critical coral habitat. Screw coral. I mean, I don't want to sound insensitive, but dude, there's nothing you can do to stop it. I'm telling you. Okay? You can care as much as you want, and I appreciate that, and we can talk about how we really want to save the planet. But as George Carlin said, save the planet. How pompous. You need to save yourselves. Okay? Before you save the planet. What did George Carlin say? Actually, let me bring that up. George Carlin Save the Planet speech. That's how we're going to end this today. Transcript. For those of you who have never heard this, you're in for a treat right now. Oh, that's his whole deal. Hold on, let me search for it here. Save the Planet. Okay, so this is George Carlin, the late great comedian, one of my favorite comedians. Why is he so good? Not so much because of he's funny. He is funny, but because he's a truth seeker. He was a truth exposer. Let me read this. He says, hold on. Hold on. It's so funny. This whole thing's funny. He says, see, I'm not one of these people that's worried about everything. You got people like this around you. Countries full of them now. People walking around all day long, every minute of every day, worried about everything. Worried about the air. Worried about the water. Worried about the soil. Worried about insecticides, pesticides, food additives, carcinogens. Worried about radon gas. Worried about asbestos. Worried about saving endangered species. Let me tell you about endangered species. Okay? Saving endangered species is just one more arrogant attempt by humans to control nature. It's arrogant meddling. It's what got us in trouble in the first place. Doesn't anybody understand this? Interfering with nature. Over 90%, way over 90% of all the species that have ever lived on this planet, are gone. They're extinct. We didn't kill them all. They just disappeared. That's what nature does. They disappear these days at a rate of 25 per day, and I mean regardless of our behavior. See, George Carlin knew this. This is what I've been preaching. It's nature, man. It's not humans. Stop. Irrespective of how we act on this planet, 25 species that were here today will be gone tomorrow. Let them go gracefully. Leave nature alone. Haven't we done enough? We're so self-important. So self-important. Everybody's got to save something now. Save the trees. Save the bees. Save the whales. Save those snails. And the greatest arrogance of all, save the planet. What? Are these fucking people kidding me? Save the planet? We don't even know how to take care of ourselves yet. We haven't learned how to take care of one another, and we're gonna save the fucking planet? I'm getting tired of that shit. I'm getting tired of that shit. I'm tired of fucking Earth Day. I'm tired of these self-righteous environmentalists, these white bourgeois liberals thinking the only thing wrong with this country is there aren't enough bicycle paths. People trying to make the world a safe place for their Volvos. Besides, environmentalists don't give a shit about the planet. They don't care about the planet. Not in the abstract, they don't. You know what they're interested in? A clean place to live, their own habitat. They're worried that someday in the future they might be personally inconvenienced. Narrow, unenlightened self-interest doesn't impress me. Besides, there's nothing wrong with the planet. Nothing wrong with the planet. The planet is fine. The people are fucked. Difference. The planet is fine. Compared to the people, the planet has been doing great. Been here for 4.5 billion years. Do you ever think about the arithmetic? The planet has been here 4.5 billion years. We've been here, 100,000? Maybe 200,000? And we've only been engaged in heavy industry for a little over 200 years. 200 years versus 4.5 billion. And we have the conceit to think that somehow we're a threat? That somehow we're going to put in jeopardy this beautiful blue-green ball that's just floating around the sun? The planet has been through a lot worse than us. Been through all kinds worse than us. Been through earthquakes, volcanoes, plate tectonics, continental drifts, solar flares, sunspots, magnetic storms, the magnetic reversal of the poles, hundreds of thousands of years of bombardment by comets, asteroids, meteors, worldwide floods, tidal waves, worldwide fires, erosion, cosmic rays, reoccurring ice ages, and we think that some plastic bags and aluminum cans are going to make a difference? The planet isn't going anywhere. We are. We're going away. Pack your shit, folks. We're going away. And we won't leave much of a trace either, thank God for that. Maybe a little styrofoam. Maybe a little styrofoam. The planet will be here. We'll be long gone. Just another failed mutation. Just another close-end biological mistake. An evolutionary cul-de-sac. The planet will shake us off like a bad case of the fleas. A surface nuisance. You want to know how the planet is doing? Ask those people in Pompeii who are frozen into position from volcanic ash how the planet's doing. Okay, I think that's enough. I don't want to read the whole thing. I'll probably get a copyright strike. All right, let me check on the chat. Let me say what's up to everybody. That's the end of today's presentation for Omens, by the way. Yes. All right, cool. Well, I hope you guys had a good time today. I did. I had a little attitude, apparently. I don't know. I had a little attitude today, but I enjoyed slamming on the sunscreen. That was probably one of my favorite parts. And the George Carlin at the end also. All right, sweet. Well, it's good to see you guys all in the chat. It's good to see so many people supporting my work. If you want to jump over to Patreon, there's a chat in my Patreon that you can go and say hello, get to know each other, upload images, and share your views and comments and stuff over at my Patreon chat. And if you want to jump into the credits, which I'm about to roll right now, you can find that over at Patreon as well. Check out my website, JayDreamerZ.com, for books, merch, and a plethora of visual and audio information that is sure to stimulate some part of you. Until next time, I'm JayDreamer saying good vibes and goodbye.
In a time when an ancient cataclysm is about to return, one book holds the key to unlocking the biggest secret in all of history. JayDreamerZ presents Ancient Oblivion, the Plasma Apocalypse. Study it, and you'll discover the very real details behind the reoccurring event that resets civilizations and reshapes the entire world. Bridging the gap between fiction and fact, this book is a must-have for all truth seekers. Then in his second book, you'll learn about the one place of refuge from this world storm. You'll explore the ends of the earth, find the fountain of youth, and envision yourself enveloped in the vapor canopy. In Ancient Oblivion, Return to Hyperborea, available now. Order direct from JayDreamerZ and receive your very own autographed copy. Go to JayDreamerZ.com for more information on our Ancient Oblivion and the Plasma Apocalypse, and sign up for a free 24-hour cram session with a complimentary day pass. The end is near, so order now before it's too late.
Something's forcing me to stay. It'd be easier on me if I turn away to flee. But there's something holding on in the way of thinking. fade away. But something's forcing me to stay. It'd be easier for me if I turn away to flee. But there's something holding on in the way of being long gone. There's so many ways to escape, but I guess it's time to wake up, time to wake up. Far too many ways to escape, but I guess it's time to wake up, time to wake up. Time to wake up, time to wake up, baby. Time to wake up, time to wake up. Time to wake up, time to wake up, baby. Time to